And we are streaming, we are live. Here we go. Welcome to the Diet Coke 500 here at Coca-Cola Super Speedway. It is the lone cup race today, no Carve Tomorrow race this weekend. So here we are, Crown Jewel race weekend, second one of the season. On the front row, it's Truex on the inside. He's on the pole with Kyle Larson just on the outside. Moving back, row 2, Chastain and Elliott lock out that row. Elliott Larson's teammate and the third Hendrick teammate, Alex Bowman, lines up on the third row on the outside of Christopher Bell. Final Hendrick car, William Byron, will line up on the outside of Joey Logano. Most forward in the field. Row 5 is going to be Chris Buescher and Bubba Wallace. Buescher the second Ford, Wallace the third Toyota. So Chevy's got a pretty good edge today, with 5 out of the top 10 drivers being Chevys. Of course, the 400 cars and the Trackhouse #1 of Chastain. Moving further back to the field, it's Keselowski and Gilliland. Behind them, Busch and Cindric. Moving back to row 8, Hamlin and Blaney. Row 9 is Ty Gibbs and Chase Briscoe. Row 10 is Noah Gragson and Tyler Reddick. Row 11 is Michael McDowell and Josh Berry. Row 12 is Daniel Suarez, Chastain's teammate, and John Hunter Nemechek. Row 13 is Anthony Alfredo and Jimmy Johnson. Row 14 is going to be, Carson Hocevar and AJ Allmendinger. Row 15 is going to be Austin Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Row 16 is going to be Zane Smith and Justin Haley. Row 17 is going to be Ryan Preece and Corey LaJoie. Row 18 is going to be Harrison Burton, my apologies, and Daniel Hemrick. Row 19 is going to be David Reagan and Eric Jones. And as always, row 20, 39th and 40th car on the grid, it's going to be Riley Herbst and Kaz Gralla. However, of course, this being the third of 4 Super Speedway weekends in a row, we could see either of these two drivers come on top. Where you start in the field doesn't spell out the whole story. With that, let's get to the command to start the engines. And we're off and we're away here at the Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Now, Coca-Cola Super Speedway is an interesting racetrack. Of course, we zoom out. 3-mile long oval, pit road speed of 65 miles per hour, turns banked 36 degrees, 1 mile straights banked 10 degrees, so half a mile corners. It's one of the most interesting oval-shaped tracks on the calendar. It's an absolute marvel of engineering. It's huge, got grandstands on both straightaways. It is the result of a dream of one man back in the early 2000s to build this facility. It hasn't received a repave since, which is interesting. I mean, it was a first try nail. It was a perfect success. Originally, the vehicles were unrestricted, reaching speeds up to 240 miles per hour, but once that was deemed too unsafe with the incredibly high turn bank, resulting in cars hitting the wall way too hard, leading to injuries and other issues, the restrictor plates were added, but not to such an aggressive degree, so we're still going to see speeds potentially reaching 200 plus miles per hour today. Of course, this being a full throttle track, unrestricted or restricted, it means that cars always ran close together, and we're going to see a lot of that today. Cars running close together, 3-4 wide with how wide the circuit is, you can see. And here we are, coming to the front stretch, and we're green in Coca-Cola. Here we are, Truex and Larson, pretty much identical starts, but Larson with a bit of a better start from Chastain behind will get an edge into turn 1, and he's going to take the lead from Martin Truex here. as they come out into turn 1 and turn 2. They're already 4 wide behind them. Saw that with these back row cars. I mean, already they're fanning out. They're gonna grid up real quick, real soon. Of course, the lower series doesn't race here. It's deemed too dangerous for a feeder series, for a lower series, and therefore not quite the best place to bring them. And also the way that those cars behave on the super speedways, as you've seen, they very tightly grid up and they just keep in line, and it's hard to make moves or keep your lead for a while. As you can see, Larson's spread out far ahead of the field, and that's going to be Chase Elliott going down the inside of Martin Truex for second place to try to maybe help his teammate to a win or pass his teammate. Rule number 1: always beat your teammate. They're the same machinery as you. They're the exact same equipment. Obviously, that they're going to be the bar for who you want to do better than. They're who you want to be. So right now they're 3 wide coming down the back stretch. Third place. Looks like Buscher's getting squeezed up into the wall. Into the turn. That's going to change though, and here they go, and they're 3 wide, a couple rows. But honestly, more spread out than we've seen in, tests and all that, and, things like that. I mean, we've seen greater racing, 3 wide the whole way down the field, super speedways, but who knows, this track is very unique profiling. Obviously, we come to the hood cam of Ryan Blaney, and you can see on the exit of this turn, I mean, it was, we all know how this track profiles were. As you can see, there's a bit of a raise and then a dip, rather than a consistent banking change, because banking just wasn't consistent. It wasn't easy to do those calculations way back when. So they kind of just did it visually, and there they go, 4 wide. Ryan Blaney in the middle of all that. They're gonna quickly get out of that. They don't want to be part of that. Here they come back into turn 1. Now they're 3 wide, a few rows down the field. And I mean, these turns, look how huge, look how small these much bigger cars compared to the lower series. I mean, we know how big these cars look on track, and I mean, just look how small they look on this track. 3-mile long oval, at the longest of its time, definitely longest in schedule at the time. Absolute marvel of just modern design and engineering. And there they go, they're 4 wide into the turn again. It looks like they're going to stay 4 wide coming out of the turn. McDowell on the outside. Oh, and there's a crash, first caution of the day. And they're going to be sending each other down pit road, and ooh, Bubba Wallace hits the pit wall head on. So does Christopher Bell. That's an ugly caution. Start out the race, and they're 4 wide under the yellow flag. Not sure what's going on here. They're making contact. They're about to run each other into the wall. I don't know what's going on here. They're gonna have to order themselves, but I mean, what happened there, man? Oh, and Denny Hamlin runs his driver, Bubba Wallace, right in the back. What is that about? I mean, Hamlin maybe just couldn't slow down as much as he needed to. Ugh, ugly hit for Hamlin. He's gonna have some weight on pit road. What happened here with these guys 4 wide? I think it was, yeah, Gregson and Keselowski made contact, brought the 12 up into the wall, and then hooked 6, hooked the 34 as well, and just brought everyone down. 6 made it out, not much others. Obviously, we saw Bubba Wallace. He hit that pit wall. How hard of a hit was that? I mean, there's that little flare there to lower the risk of, like, a head-on collision coming onto pit road, but I mean, and then there's 20 also hitting the pit road wall. So yeah, so here they come now down pit road. Speaking of, Kyle Larson still leading. He seems to be able to dominate pretty well. So we're going to leave you to that. Coming off pit road, Kyle Larson suffered a bit of time loss, resulting in Noah Gragson coming up in first, and he's gonna take that take the lead off pit road. But Larson still starting second. So yeah. And here we are. So it was one lap to green. Cars retired. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and Eric Jones. We've still got a 36 car field here today. Chase Elliott suffering massive damage. He's not gonna do much more in this race today. And as we wait for the green flag to come out, there it is again. Here they come into turn one. Larson again with the better jump off the start. For Gregson, he's gonna try to get back up to him. He can try, but that's about it. He's sitting on the outside. He's gonna probably get that speed off the corners. Cindric's gonna get him here, honestly. How long these straights are, when you can get off these corners. That outside seems to be a place to be with pusher. Profiling the racetrack, but also, you know, here in the corners, the inside seems to be a bit more prevalent, so that just depends on what influence you're applying. So now we can see the grips here, the inside 2x for the corners. Larson, Ashton, and Cindric. Cindric's got Reddick behind him, but Reddick's going to try to get him to Reddick's not going, not a quick move. Josh Berry, far behind him, after just that run. Cindric's going to wait ahead of him, so he's going to go far ahead of him for Reddick. Far behind him. Right now, it's Cindric to make a Larson. This is Cindric's move. Down the inside, swarming on Kyle Larson, but Reddick on the outside. Who's he gonna push? Neither one of them are the manufacturer teammate of the number 45, but it looks like he's going to go for Larson, keep him out in the lead. You don't want to get on Kyle Larson's bad side. Ugh, Cindric just barely not getting that lead there. He was so close. Look how close he is. He's just 5/100ths of a second away from the number 5 on that last lap. Of course, as tires begin to wear, those cars coming on the outside, I mean, they're going to start to lose that exit speed. And cars on the inside, they're going to gain a bit more. So that lead is going to become more and more competitive the longer we stay caution-free. Of course, with more cars damaged and slow, that means that lap traffic is going to become a thing sooner or later. But it also means we're going to have a smaller field, which potentially less draft, which means maybe less competition for the lead. There's HAZCAR, like I said. Those back row drivers, don't count them out just yet. Never count them out. Not at super speedways. Coming on the front stretch here, I mean, yes, a bit of a smaller field. And there's Truex on the inside of Cindric. He's going to want to have a crack at this. He's going to want to have a crack at this lead on Larson, and here he is. He's going to get a first try here into turn 3. Truex on Larson. Look at that. Larson finally out of the lead. New race leader, Martin Truex Jr. But you see now, Kyle Busch is going to want to taste that lead. Look at that, and they're 3 wide on the front stretch. Unfortunately for Busch, Truex is going to keep that out. He's got a bit of a pusher in Larson. And now he's going to dive to the inside. Hang Larson out to dry. They're 4 wide at the back of this field. In the turn. And so Larson's still going to try to get Truex back. I mean, he wants, this is a win he could absolutely get today. Got the pace, he's been dominant so far. I mean, even just getting the stage win, we got 7 to go on the stage. So, I mean, who knows? Larson back to the lead. David Reagan on the inside. And that's Riley Herbst on the very bottom with a push from Daniel Suarez. Unbelievable, the young driver. The kid. I mean, he's a young kid. And there's Casgralla in 5th place. You're seeing these guys starting to come up to form here. These back market guys are pushing each other to the lead. Let me get a taste of this. So that's Riley Herbst in third. As you can see, these leaders have been a bit more single file. Again, as those tires begin to wear down, it becomes a bit more difficult to keep form. But that could also just be them arranging themselves to get around Chase Elliott a bit easier, that lapped car. So there's Riley Herbst now, but he just doesn't got the speed. He doesn't have the speed without that draft. He's just not got it. And they're breaking out now, and that's Riley Herbst up to second with Kez Gralla getting into third. Of course, Chase Elliott's going to slow that entire part of the field down, meaning it's going to be a bit more of a joust type of deal. Of course, all these back markers running in the front, it's going to make things a bit more interesting. Let's look at Kez Gralla. He's going to try to go for an overtake on Riley Herbst. So he's going to get to second, and he's going to try to catch Larson. Chase Elliott, not doing good for a lot of these guys. But I mean, as they begin to get around him, they're going to pack up, and they're going to... And so these guys, they're going to try to pack themselves up a bit front to back. So here we come on the backstretch. That's another lap car, Ryan Blaney. So they're going to have to avoid him now. So here they go now. We just got a field of 6 for the lead. Here, coming on the final lap of the stage. So we might see a close finish for the stage. They're going right there. This could be close. That's going to be Reddick in the lead for quite a while. That's John Hunter Nemechek in the pits. I think Tyler Reddick's going to take home a stage here unless Kyle Larson can do something on him in the third turn. Although I highly doubt it. Larson's not really... Oh, and he is gaining on him. He's going to go for an overtake into turn 3. So this is going to be a close finish for the stage. I believe no. Kyle Larson coming off of turn 4. Chase Briscoe on his inside. Is he going to be close? Kyle Larson takes stage 1. That car's still coming down. That's Josh Berry and Michael McDowell. Looks like they both got engine failures. What's happened with them then? So we're gonna need to wait for these guys to come back around to get their lap times in. Meanwhile, Bubba Wallace and Brad Keselowski, they come around. They're going to be ahead of John Hunter Nemechek and Alex Bowman. And so these are our current standings for stage 1. So that's stage 1 here in Coca-Cola. They come down pit road. Their pit road cam here. This is also taking care of the finish line. Everybody coming down. HAZCAR, David Reagan, some of the first pit stalls. There's Riley Herbst, who he pulled back due to Chase Elliott. So HAZCAR comes out of his pit stall with David Reagan just ahead of him. Reagan's gonna have to hold back just a bit to allow John Nemechek into his pit stall. And so Chase Briscoe takes the lead off the pit road. As these lap guys prepare to go down pit road themselves, they're just, look how bent up and wrecked up they are. Ryan Blaney, I mean, not the way you want to see a car. Not the way you want to see that car, that 12 car. I mean, that just sucks. End of stage 2 is going to be end of lap 42. Here 4. I'm gonna take these just in case. Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott, doesn't really matter how they do on pit road. I mean, they're probably gonna stay on there for a while. Let's see. I mean, look at these guys. This is such a large track. This is such a large racetrack. They're pacing at 90 miles per over 90 miles per hour. I mean, it's the fastest pacing speed, I believe, on the entire calendar, other than maybe Joe Gibbs later in the season. That's Ryan Blaney retiring from the race. As for Chase Elliott, I believe he will be a retirement too. No, they're going to try to work on the car. They're going to try to save what's left of this poor vehicle, holding him on the pit road. So he's going to be a couple more laps, maybe one more lap down. I mean, the fact that you can pace in these corners at 90 miles per hour, that just gives you a scope of how highly banked these turns are and how long these straights are, and just how insane this track is. I mean, you can go full throttle through these corners like nothing's wrong. It's a difficult track, yes. I mean, it's hard not to lose the car going into that corner, especially with the old profiling style of the dip on entry and the lift on exit. But it's an interesting track for sure. It's certainly entertaining. Very much so entertaining. As we are one lap to green. One lap to the green flag. I mean, really quick, we go back. All the way to the end of stage 1 here. And I mean, you can see how close it was for a stage. Imagine what we're going to see come the end of the race. HAZCAR with an engine problem. So he's going to be retiring. It looks like the number 34 had an engine issue. Unknown what exactly. And the 4 had a camshaft failure. So that's going to be Chase Elliott starting up there. Right behind Brad Keselowski. And as they come onto the front stretch, Briscoe on the inside. He leads the restart, but Larson probably going to get that jump. And the green flag is back out at Coca-Cola. Oh, and the number 10 immediately. He's going to receive an engine problem. He's going to go down the apron. Is that going to be a caution? I'm not quite sure. Let's keep watch. I don't think so. Slow car on track, yes. Is it going to necessarily constitute a caution? Unknown. Gregson can make it to pit road. He is stopped on track. I think that's going to be a caution. Sooner or later, that is going to be a caution. No, the 10 gets on a... The 10 is safely taken away and onto pit road. And that's not Gregson. That's Ryan Preece. My apologies for mixing that up. That was not the right guy. Got the wrong guy. Gregson's doing just fine. My apologies to all the Gregson fans. I can tell who it was. That's Brian Preece. Just out of the race there. Absolutely not Noah Gragson. But Ty Gibbs to the lead. Kyle Larson finally falling further back. Giving the other drivers a chance to fight for that front position. I mean, we haven't seen a big one here, and with the way this field is spread out, I don't think we're going to see one at all today, which is a miracle for, I mean, you know, what's it? A super speedway race. That's like unknown. I mean, no big one at a super speedway race. I don't remember the last time that happened. At Daytona with Ross Chastain. Happened at Bermuda with what's his name? I don't remember what happened at Bermuda, but it was a big one. So now coming back up to North Carolina. I mean, this is just... It'll be interesting without a big one. That means consistent racing. No, Ty Gibbs to the lead. He's going to be pretty dominant for a few laps. There's Kyle Larson again. Kyle Larson not going to let this go. Kyle Larson looking at Super Weekend, looking to bring Hendrick a good spot in the Drivers' Championship. Of course. I mean... 54 for the number 5 team for Hendrick Motorsports. Sorry for those issues there, but if we look at the standings, we can see that Kyle Larson, all these Hendrick guys, they're not doing too hot. Kyle Larson low in the ranks, Alex Bowman low in the ranks. Larson, I believe, the highest out of any of them. No, Chase Elliott, the highest Hendrick driver currently in the standing, but he's not going to do well today. So it's up to his teammate Kyle Larson to bring them a good result today. Coming back to the race here. The field is a bit more bunched up than we thought originally might end up happening. with all the missing cars. It's Tyler Reddick now. We're gonna snatch a lap leading. Ugh, Larson, the only Hendrick guy really in contention here. Bad week for Hendrick. It's been a bad couple weeks for Hendrick. Daytona scored 4 points. I believe it was. They scored very low points. Bermuda, again, just a bad luck with their week. And then now in Coca-Cola, I mean, they've got 2 of their 4 cars out in the front. Alex Bowman running slow. Chase Elliott about to become even further left traffic. I mean, you look at the far out camera and you can see the other guys in the corner almost. He's already half a lap down. Maybe 2 laps into the stage. I mean, this is just bad set of weeks. Hendrick not friends with the super speedways. You can see Chase Elliott there in turn 1. Yeah, Chase Elliott just not. Chase Elliott. You can see our guys in the back now. Probably gonna see Chase Elliott in the turn here once these guys come by. Look at the speed difference, 170 miles per hour to 191. Not quite the 200 plus speed we were hoping for to see, but I mean, it's probably for the better. Now Kyle Larson, he cannot get up there. Not easily anyway. Not with how few cars are in this front pack. I mean, now it's up to who's that? Kyle Busch. To get on the 45s inside, but that's gonna be tough when David Reagan's trying to make a move on it. And here they are. Kyle Busch super on the inside. Not quite sure what to do. Oh, and we got a big caution. Not quite the big one, but I mean, that's the biggest I think we're gonna see all day. And here they come down pit road. It's a shame we have to see another caution here. Someone's checking up on pit road entry. That's going to slow a lot of guys down and give other drivers a bit of an advantage. excuse me. Coming off pit row, and I mean, yeah, Tyler Reddick's got it locked in for this stage. Gonna be only a few laps left in the stage. Lap 42, last lap of the stage. So we're one lap to green here. No lap guys really in the mix like we saw at Daytona that was causing issues and stuff. Coming into turn 3, it's going to be Bubba Wallace leading the restart, but he's going to be slow. He's going to get past pretty quickly. I don't know how he made up all those laps. Just an incredible, I guess, rerun. 28 cars still in the race after that crash. Didn't end up going over it. I guess TV director just didn't feel like showing it. So we'll see. Who knows, though? I mean, I guess we'll go over it over the stage break. And we're back green in Coca-Cola here in North Carolina in Concord. Again, Bubba extremely slow on the restart. Back about as I thought. Busch on the inside. There he goes. And so there's Gregson, who I thought was out earlier, but he's gonna make a charge back to the front, back to the lead. David Reagan on the inside of Kyle Busch. So they want these stage points. They want them bad. The current leader of the points, it's Chris Buescher. That number 17 Ford, he's been consistent so far through the season. He's got speed, not quite as much as he'd like to, but I mean, he's certainly up there. Got a car down pit road. It's Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace down pit road. So, yeah, but let's look at Chris Buescher's hood cam. He's got a bit of a folded hood. So, we see damage in a crash. And that's why he's not really an incident. He's not keeping up with the 90 units of the car. Which is unfortunate for the number 17 for RFK. Because guess what? The race leader, Tyler Reddick, he's third in points. And Ty Gibbs, his teammate, not too far behind. He's second in points. So Buescher looks as if though he's about to lose his points lead. And so, as we're spread out here in Coca-Cola, The number 8 trying to make a move on the number 45. I mean, they're straightened out here. Bit of a, scrubby restart resulted in cars getting spread out quickly. Some of these guys coming in for tires, some of them not coming in, which resulting in them getting spread out like this. And that is Bubba Wallace now. He's slow on the track, so they're going to have to go around him. He's going to go down on the inside, make room for all these guys on the outside. Good move from Bubba. Ty Gibbs is the only one who didn't get a chance to get around him. So now these 5 guys, they're going to fight for the stage win here. Bubba Wallace lap traffic is going to be really going to get back of the field under caution due to being lap traffic. Who is this coming off of pit road right now? It's Gilliland. Todd Gilliland. So in at turn 3, David Reagan's going to get a pass on Kyle Busch. He's gonna try to get the lead off of Tyler Reddick's hands here. But Busch going back down the inside on Reagan. Busch doesn't got the speed, and he might have pulled out a bit too aggressively and just lost all that momentum that he had. Even gradual with your pullouts. Trying to make an overtake. So that's Reagan right now looking to overtake Tyler Reddick. I mean, these speeds are just pretty consistent without a big pack pushes and for high track count and for all that stuff. We've got a caution and that is stage over. Tyler Reddick takes it. Looks like there was a crash in turn 3. Who crashed? It was Daniel Hemrick. So on the last lap of the stage, we had a caution. No one noticed. Let's see what happened here before we get the results for the stage. It looks like... Looks like Hemrick gets turned Alfredo. Oh, 48 hooked into Alfredo, hooked into Hemrick, brought out the caution. But I mean, it was the end of the stage, so caution was going to come out anyway. Stage 2 complete here at Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Tyler Reddick down on pit road. He's going to lead everyone. He's going to show them the way. So once again, we got a bit of a checkup on pit road. Didn't see this during, testing and all that. But who knows? Who knows why those checkups occur? So Tyler Reddick gets off of pit road. What was with that crash way back on lap 36? in the earlier laps of the race. A caution had come out. What for? Not quite sure what for. Was caution already out here? No. Oh, right, it was this crash in the front of the field. Riley Herbst. Ooh, that's where Herbst went. Yikes. So what happened was, it looks like Herbst just got up into the 21, checked himself up into the wall, came down, took out the 99, the 42, the 24. Those four guys. That's not really a big one, but almost could have been. It came up on the track any earlier. Coming back to the real-time feed. And that is David Reagan out with an engine problem. Yet another exploded engine in this Coca-Cola race. What is happening with these engines? Everyone's blowing up. It's not even by manufacturer, just everyone in general. So there goes David Reagan. He's out due to camshaft issue again. Looks like it's the most common issue here, aside from wrecked cars. I mean, Josh Berry had a camshaft issue. Brad Keselowski had a camshaft issue, retired, but I'm pretty sure that's from a wreck. David Reagan camshaft problem, so yeah. Anyway, here they come. Off turn 4, pace car, hard left onto pit road. Only 22 cars left in competition. As the green flag comes back out in Coca-Cola. They're side by side. It's Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick now on the fresh tires, so hopefully they're going to be able to keep packed up a bit, avoid going single file, make a bit more moves. Kyle Larson far back with his teammate William Byron, just bad stuff for Hendrick Motorsports. I mean, they took stage 1, but who knows what's going to happen here in the race. For the win. In the closing 23 laps. And now it's 21 to go. Sorry, not 23, 22 laps. Now 21 to go. Coca-Cola, and they're going to dive down the inside 3 wide, and that's Chase Briscoe to the lead of the race with Ty Gibbs just behind. Now Carson Hocevar out of nowhere. Spire Motorsports, they had Zane Smith come home with the win in that hectic weekend that was Bermuda. Here he comes, and Kyle Busch down the inside. Way down comes Busch. On Ty Gibbs, so he's gonna look to take the lead from Chase Briscoe. They come into the front stretch. His tires are now actually strong enough to avoid the abrasion and the speed loss when going out for a move like that. So Kyle Busch coming into turn 1 will take the lead. No! Ty Gibbs comes back and takes the lead. Back from Busch. Again. Busch unable to get anywhere into the lead. Hocevar now on the inside. And that's Stenhouse on the bottom. 3 wide again. So I believe... No, Gibbs is going to keep the lead there, but look at that. They're 3 by 3. And so Busch had a chance to go for the lead. He didn't get it. Fortunately, lost opportunity there. He really got a leg cramp. Yikes. So here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the inside of Ty Gibbs. He's going to go for the lead. Gibbs, without a pusher, going to give Stenhouse a chance to get a bit of a gap on the rest of the field. Small gap, yes, but I mean, just look at the difference it makes. Gibbs not going to get up to him for at least another lap. Without any push, but he's got a pusher. It's Carson Roosevelt. Ty Gibbs, I mean, he seems to be really pushing it for this race win. I mean, he's not letting anyone by. He's already back ahead of Stenhouse. Ahead of Gregson, pushing Stenhouse. Not Gregson pushing Stenhouse. It was, yeah, Hocevar. But now Gregson pushing Stenhouse. Those three guys up there, they seem to be the favorites for the win here as Kyle Busch is falling back. It's going to be Gregson down way low on Stenhouse. Stenhouse and Gibbs, they're working together. They're going to pull ahead of Gregson. I don't think he's going to get past Stenhouse in the corner. Stenhouse not trying to play it safe. He's going to one crazy block and get a play at the same. Gregson up to second. So all these slow cars just racing for points at this point. Just trying to get as many points as they can with their circumstance. So AJ Allmendinger on the inside, but he's not going to get anything out of that. So Gregson on the inside into turn one at the last second. Gregson's going to go down the inside and he's going to take the lead from Ty Gibbs. Now he's got AJ Allmendinger, the road course ringer, right behind him, ready to perform. And they're 4 wide for the lead. They almost go 4 wide. Kyle Larson there on the bottom behind Chase Briscoe. Unbelievable. Briscoe back to the lead. Gregson didn't hold it long. It's Gregson's teammate, though, to the lead with Kyle Larson just behind. And that Hendrick car, he's going to want to do as much as he can to get the lead and get the win here. There's Austin Dillon in second place. Kyle Busch's teammate and Allmendinger again gonna go inside to follow Dillon, but it's just not gonna work. Kyle Larson on the outside. This is just an absolute stadium of a racetrack. It's such a large bowl, and you just put some grandstands in the corner, and you've got yourself the biggest coliseum ever built. Of course, I'm only joking. I'm sure it would probably be dangerous to have stands in the corners there. But I mean, here he is on the bottom. It's AJ Allmendinger looking to make a move on Chase Briscoe, but he just doesn't have the straight line speed. His tires have worn out again. And he doesn't... Oh, wait, maybe he does. Maybe he does. This could be it. AJ Allmendinger not to the lead. But now with a push from Martin Truex just behind. Truex almost clear of Kyle Busch. Allmendinger needs to make that move to be inside a bit earlier, or a bit later, when he's got that run. Keep that run, push the 14 and hang him out to dry right at the last second. It's a strategic play. Of course, he's no professional not road course. What's his name? What's his face? Super Speedway racer. You know. But I mean, it just... It just sucks for that 16. Everyone wants to see him do well. The Colic 13 or the Colic 16. Moving on though, Kyle Busch makes a pass on him, but he's going to be heading down to pit road for his green flag pit stop. Of course, with this stage being longer, we're going to see some green flag stops. This is over a 20 lap stage, so yes, there will be pit stops under the green flag. Strategy play, really. Kyle Busch want to pit early and try to get an undercut, or do you want to stick it out and hope for, hope you make the pass on pit road, hope that the speed that you get from getting on pit road and getting those fresh tires and that extra fuel is just enough to bring you back to the front of the field and bring you to a win. And so here's everybody now. They're all looking for the undercut. All of them are looking for that undercut. As where's Kyle Busch? Here he is. I mean, I think the early undercut was a bad idea. I mean, he can't get that speed up there as high as he wants to get it. But who knows? I mean, what do we know, right? We're just, I'm just a commentator, I don't know anything. And so there's AJ Allmendinger out of the pit road first. He's out way up ahead. But that might be enough for him to get it within 10 laps. That might be enough distance to where, I mean, including with Chase Elliott as lap traffic, that's going to slow him down, though. That's going to give everyone a chance to catch back up. So it's going to bunch everyone together. But yeah, Allmendinger got the speed over Elliott. So, and I think that was pretty obvious. So, but these guys, they're faster. No, they're not. Allmendinger still faster than the other guys. So he's going to go down the inside of Chase Elliott. Yeah, Elliott's going to move out the way, take that blue flag. Logically. There's Kyle Busch, though. Kyle Busch is going to get back to these guys. Is Kyle Busch going to go around, and he's going to go around Chase Elliott and take the lead from AJ Allmendinger? Let's see how much speed he's got. He's got the speed to make the overtake on AJ Allmendinger. Is he going to make it into turn one? He's going to be close. He's going to go for it. Ah, and he doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. He was that close. He could have gone around the outside. He had so much more speed than the 16. He gets the speed off the corner exit, though. There he is. But of course, 16 in the draft of those lap cars, it's going to be a bit harder for Busch than he expects to get that lead, get that overtake on the inside. 11 to go here in the race. As Zane Smith, the lap damaged car, is going to hold Kyle Busch up, and then he's going to hold AJ Allmendinger up. Let Kyle Busch down on the inside. He's going to go ahead and take that. He says, thank you very much. Ty Gibbs gets back up to the two Chevys up front. That Toyota, he wants to nab a win. He wants to nab himself a win. And so Gregson going to go around the outside of the 42 and 71. Or is he going to go around the outside of the 42 or 71, but inside the 42? And so Hocevar's got, lead lap speed, but he's just not up there where he needs to be. Oh no, they're the leaders. We've been focusing on the wrong spot this entire time. We've been focusing on Allmendinger and Kyle Busch, but neither of them are leading. I haven't been looking at the scoreboard. It's Chase Briscoe leading with Carson Hocevar just behind. These three are fighting for third place. Carson Oswald, he does not have that speed to get drafted and chase Briscoe. Maybe this lap of traffic of Bubba Wallace is going to play an interesting role for these two. I think we should go around the outside though. Yeah, they are. Who knows though? Kosovar can go down the inside. No, they're just going to pull Kosovar up. Allow Briscoe to get even further ahead. I mean, these guys, they're not getting any closer. Especially not with Bubba Wallace right in their way. They're not getting any closer to Chase Briscoe. So unless a caution comes out inexplicably, I think it's going to be Chase Briscoe taking the win here. I don't know though, these guys, they've got draft on each other, which Briscoe no longer has. He no longer got that push from Carson Hocevar. These guys just struggling to avoid these lap cars. I don't know what it is. These guys, they're getting back up to speed. Hocevar behind the 14. Austin Dillon now in the lead of this, you know, biggest forwardmost pack. Large frontward pack. I think it's the biggest pack on the field. Only pack on the field. So, yeah. Currently, 24 drivers driving. 20 of them actually in driving contention. But wait, that's not true. It's actually only... How many of us is this? 9 cars if they can get up to the 14 and the 77 in time. But I doubt they will. They've gotten closer here. Carson Hocevar are going to go on Chase Briscoe for the lead. That's going to slow them both down. So who knows, this could be a very interesting finish. These guys can continue to just climb up, rack up that speed. Kyle Busch, I mean, they're way faster than them now. Here they come! Oh, but Austin Dillon, bad move, trying to make a pass on his teammate. That's just going to slow them down. Bad move, Austin Dillon. Unless they can keep that speed. I mean, he's got 45 pushing behind. So they look at this and they've made it back up to the leaders. So this is going to be a pack race finish. Unbelievable rally back up to the field by all these guys. They know how to work together with each other. 9 cars in contention for the lead. 9 cars up for the win. And as we see, Hocevar. Who knows? Maybe Reddick can snatch the win from Briscoe. Briscoe led a lot of laps at Daytona. I mean, he seems to be real good, consistent at these super speedways. You know. And there's Tyler Reddick on the inside. Can he go for an overtake on Chase Briscoe? These two are going to joust for the lead here on the final few laps. But, oh, Daniel Suarez left traffic in the way to slow everyone down. We take a quick break. I need to... And actually, I'm thinking... Instead of this camera... What about one of these cameras? Where it's like... And I'll have more than enough time. And here these guys come. Let's do this test on Alex Bowman. They're extremely close up, but Tyler Reddick seems to have got a strong lead on these guys. So... yeah. I think that would be better. Finally back, and it's 2 to go. Now 1 to go. White flag out in the air. Tyler Reddick looks like he's got it unlocked. But, I don't know. Ty Gibbs could make that last lap move, but with Chase Briscoe on the inside, I doubt he's going to do it. Who knows, though? Chase Elliott, they're going to catch him real quick. He could cause problems right at the end. Looks like they're going to get him on this straightaway. Briscoe on the inside. This is for the race win. And Reddick's going to get held up by Chase Elliott. Briscoe way out in front. Chase Elliott ignoring the blue flags. So he's going to get a penalty for that post-race. But, yeah. Unbelievable. Chase Briscoe, the number 14 for Stewart-Haas Racing, is going to come to the line. He's going to win the Diet Coke 500. Tyler Reddick was this close, but in the end, lapped car, ignoring blue flags, and went away, right out of his hands. Unbelievable. Number 14, Chase Briscoe. Good job. Good job avoiding the number 9 car. I mean, let's look back at that. He was in 3rd. He should look back on that lap. Goes for a pass on Ty Gibbs. He probably could have caught the 45, and we could have seen a much more competitive finish. He didn't yet, but I mean, it was still great. I mean, last lap pass for the win. I'd love to see it. So here he comes. Goes down to the inside on the 45. Looks like it's going to be a competitive finish. So the 9 slows everything down. He anticipated it. quite beating the speed that 14 has coming out of that pass for the lap traffic. And so Chase Briscoe takes home the win. Chase Briscoe, first to see the checkered flag. And so, official results are as follows. 19 cars finish the race on the lead lap. 24 finish altogether. Therefore, 16 drivers will see another DNF added to their stat card. The Diet Coke 500. Yeah, Gene for. But yeah. Unbelievable. Chase Briscoe, the number 14 for Stewart-Haas Racing, is going to come to the line. He's going to win the Diet Coke 500. Okay, there we go. Sorry for that repeat listen. We were just checking over, making sure. Good job for Chase Briscoe winning Crown Jewel race. There it is. Chase Briscoe winning. Next week, Atlanta doubleheader once again. We're back with the lower series. Stay tuned for that. As of right now, though, thank you for tuning in to HAZCAR.